Fierce fans, for those of you tuning into the pay-per-view and for those of you in attendance here at Mountain View High School in Orem, Utah, welcome to Fierce Fighting Championship Challenger Series. Tonight's event is sanctioned by the Pete Suazo Utah Athletic Commission with Executive Director Scott Bowler in attendance. Dr. Curtis Andrews is also cage-side this evening, along with Kobe King as the timekeeper. The judges for this evening are Stephen Farragher, Rich Montanez, and Dan First. And the referee in charge the entire evening will be Dave Selyastad. Fierce fans, we are moments away from our first fight of the evening, but at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor our country with the singing of our national anthem. Please welcome a Fierce Fighting Championship mixed martial artist and an extremely talented vocalist, Nicole Funga.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, give proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Make some noise for Nicole Funga. All right, Fierce fans, we have now arrived to what you all came here to see. We have 20 mixed martial artists, 10 total fights, 1 title fight for 1 Fierce Challenger Series evening. 7 of these fighters will be making their very first walk to the cage, but all of these fighters have prepared to go to war. So Fierce fans, put your hands together and make some noise! Our first fight of the evening is sponsored by Marco's Pizza. They have been a slice of the community since 1978. Their dedication to quality has made them one of the fastest growing pizza brands in America. They got here by doing things the right way, because when you love pizza this much, that's the only way to do things. Order your next pizza from Marco's Pizza. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome the first 2 fighters of the evening to the cage. Camera right in my face.
First making that debut walk here tonight, enter Landon Dodge, the 20-year-old out of Empire MMA in Cedar City, heads into his first MMA fight with a little MMA experience, but 3 years of jiu-jitsu under his belt. Jason, we've seen debuters come to these shows with years of a specific martial art under their belt and be very, very successful.
Yeah, we've seen it multiple times. We're seeing these guys that are getting the training in as kids. They're starting in jiu-jitsu. They're starting in kickboxing. They're starting in Muay Thai. They're coming in season.
Landon Dodge out of Empire MMA, 3 years of jiu-jitsu under his belt, 6 months training MMA, makes his debut here tonight, Eric. 6 months of training, I apologize. But on top of that, I mean, the guy is absolutely massive.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's fit, in shape, and ready to go. I think that we shouldn't discount his jiu-jitsu alone experience. Being a specialist is not a bad thing. You absolutely need to blend some of the other styles and some of the other disciplines in. But if you have a good foundation in anything, it's definitely a plus.
Told me he's going to be relying a lot on his grappling in this one. He is Landon Dodge, getting checked out by the doctors in our first of 10 bouts here tonight. There he is, making the way up from Cedar City. Chris Palau is in the wings.
Yeah, I'm a heavy breather too.
Another fighter making that initial walk here tonight is Chris Palau, fighting out of Gladiator Fight Academy in Salt Lake City. Chris feels he will find his rhythm and flow best by remaining calm in the fire. Eric, seems like pretty sound advice. Your thoughts on that statement by Chris?
Yeah, especially as a debut, you have to control your nerves. This shows how much time you've been putting in the gym, whether or not you're patient. You know what you need to do to set up. You've got your feints in. He comes from a great gym too. Both these gentlemen do. Cole's a seasoned veteran, and I know he's got a lot of experience to fall back on that way. So it'll be interesting to see how he performs in his debut tonight.
So I was talking to Chris, and he actually told me that he started training at Gladiator Fight Academy. And it's usually when you ask someone that, they say, "Oh, I started training, the summer of 20 whatever." He told me an exact date, December 6th, 2022. He's been training for quite some time, or not quite some time. He's actually quite green to this whole thing. But for Chris Palau, he actually wanted to take a fight back in March at Crown Fighting Championships. Unable to because of a fight falling through. So now he gets to make his debut here tonight, Jason. I can't wait for this guy. 225 pounds, 6'2", 26 years old, fighting out of Gladiator Fight Academy. A new gym as well.
Yeah, great new gym. You got Cole Shaper in his corner. You got Nanad in his corner. Opposite of them, you got Steve Urgel from Empire. In Landon Dodge's corner. It's a great matchup. Great matchups of gyms. Both guys, I actually talked to Chris before he walked in, as he was walking in tonight. Super confident, super mellow. He's ready to go.
Fierce Fast. This fight is sponsored by Marco's Pizza. This fight is an amateur cruiserweight bout scheduled for three-minute rounds. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner. Making his amateur debut, he stands 6 feet, 2 inches tall, and weighing in at 214 pounds. Fighting out of Empire MMA, hailing from Lufkin, Texas. Fierce Fans, make some noise for Landon Dodge. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. Making his amateur debut, he stands 6 feet, 2 inches tall, and weighing in at 221 pounds. Fighting out of Gladiator Fight Academy, hailing from Rose Park, Utah. Fierce Fans, make some noise for Chris Palau.
Empire MMA's Landon Dodge in the blue. Gladiator Fight Academy's Chris Palau in the red. This fight is brought to you by Marco's Pizza. Enjoy authentic Italian quality pizza with dough made fresh every day. Marco's Pizza, an official sponsor of Fierce FC.
Great pizza at Marco's. If you've ever
It is really good. It is really, really good pizza. Head full of steam early as Landon Dodge jiving in for that takedown. Promised grappling early, and that's what we get, a takedown in the first 10 seconds of the fight.
Nice work back up.
He's got that neck. Chris has got that neck tight. Oh, he's tight.
It's out.
Nice knee to the body by Palau. And a good sprawl there, too. Some creative striking here early, Eric.
I'd like to see Palau get an underhook here. The double overs isn't going to help him defend the takedown.
You can see just the natural strength from that Chris Palau guy, which he's on his back now.
Yeah, that's a lifetime of grappling.
Takedown number 2 in under 45 seconds.
I love these Challenger Series fights in this high school gymnasium like this. You can hear everybody. You can hear the crowd. This is great.
Palau's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to posture up so he can strike. But he needs to be aware of his posture for that reason.
And for those of you watching, these are 2 debuters.
We apologize for the graphic mishap here. Lehigh Dominguez, Octavian Trumbo, our main event. This is our first fight of the night. Chris Palau, as well as Landon Dodge. Dodge going to work now. From the
Palau
top.
needs the hip escape. He's not going to get out. There he goes.
I'm impressed with Palau's being able to escape.
Yeah, they prepared for some groundwork.
North-south position there.
Palau really should try to look at turning towards him like that.
I think he was listening to you, Eric.
Once again, another takedown. Back and forth they go. Dodge trying to attack the body just a bit.
No, they're fighting though. They're not taking a lot of room to breathe.
Another knee there in the clinch. A
Nice
clean
cross,
shot on the
2 cross.
Both of those were crisp shots.
Very. Palau's got a chin.
Final 10, round 1. Dodge applying the pressure, a little shoulder strike there for good measure to close out the first of 3 rounds.
Great first round.
A very, very
That's a good way to start the card off.
busy first round, no doubt about it. Eric, a busy round so far for the 2. I mean, Landon Dodge. Actually, we're going to jump over to the official scorecard. Jason, you gave it to Dodge.
Yeah, I gave Dodge the first round. He came out aggressive. He was getting the takedowns. He had a couple submission attempts. He landed a couple big shots. Great to end the round. Palau did a great job. He was fighting back. He was getting out of things, but I didn't see enough offense from him. Once again, I don't get paid for doing this. This is just fun, but I've definitely given that 10-9 to Dodge in that first round.
Well, with Dodge having the top control more, I definitely think I would have given it to him.
I'm going to try not to disagree with you all night tonight, Eric.
I think this one Palau really needs to be busy. So if I'm Palau, I can try to get an underhook on that left side. He's not going to get anything. I'd like to see him underhook under the left and try to screw his butt the same way.
From your experience, Eric, coming into the second round as these 2 debuters, how's your gas tank? What's going through these guys' mind in the second round?
Well, I'm very impressed with both of their conditioning because they fought really hard. That there was not a break in any of the interactions there. So I'm very impressed with the conditioning for a debut fighter for both.
Starting to see the wrestling of Dodge kind of take over right now. Big hammer fist now from Dodge.
I think Palau needs to sneak that right arm in under the leg. Well, now he's trapped there. There he goes. But sneak that arm up and try to get out the back.
To the back, Dodge goes. Crisp shot. Actually picked up in the mic, I think.
You're hearing the punches.
Yeah, those are big shots from Dodge.
Just over 70 seconds remaining, round two, I apologize.
Sneak out the back door there. Look at the strength of Palau. Wow.
Impressive gas tanks on both of them, too, early on here.
Very impressed with debut fighters.
Final 30 seconds here, round two. Let Dodge on the bottom, Palau up top. Palau trying to make something work here. Tells Dodge to get back up. Up against the broadcast booth are the two.
Good way to finish for Palau. You know, you want to try to finish aggressive. Make sure you're showing the judges you're in the fight.
And you got to think, headed into round number 3, both are pretty exhausted. We see Chris Palau right here on our monitor, Eric.
I think Palau looks the more tired fighter at the moment.
Jason, your scorecard.
I gave this round once again to Dodge. I felt like he controlled that round. He landed some heavy shots. He was in full mount for the majority of the round. You know, props to Palau for getting out of that and fighting back. He stood back up and he was ready to bang again. So phenomenal performance from Palau making his debut. Both guys look very impressive in their debuts.
Certainly not a runaway 2018, and sometimes that can be lost in translation, but when you actually look at it, it could also be 10-9 the other way.
It very well could be. Like you said, like Eric mentioned, he ended up on top. He was throwing punches to end the round. How are the judges going to judge it? How are they going to see that?
Third and final round here. 2 debuters.
But they both don't look very tired, actually.
Well, I'm noticing Dodge has had his mouthpiece out there. He's trying to catch the breath a little bit.
Dodge, 20 years of age. Palau, 26. Nice knee to the body landed by Palau. Almost perfectly timed there.
Again, underhook's your best friend here.
Another takedown for Dodge here.
I mean, it seems like that wrestling is the difference in this first fight, but not taking anything away from Palau.
You know, definitely being able to control where the fight's occurring is in Dodge's favor.
Again, 3 years of jiu-jitsu under the belt of Landon Dodge.
And I would guess there's some wrestling experience prior to that.
Efficient in takedowns, efficient in top control as he starts to pepper some shots from the top once again.
Well, and you see how he's holding his head down with his head. He's pushing his head to keep it there. That's definitely some wrestling experience.
Chris Palau, the first fighter out of Gladiator Fight Academy in Salt Lake City.
You can hear Chris Palau say, stand him up. He's not doing anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's in a dominant position now. I would like to see Dodge do that. Create a little bit of space with the head, try to strike a little bit, make something happen. They're going to stay in this position unless one of them starts striking the other.
A nice shot landed there by Dodge. Nice reversal there. Finds Dodge on the bottom. Palau back up top. 70 seconds to work here.
You know, Dodge transitioned to that position, though. He went around the back to get there. He's not afraid to be on his back.
Yeah, he's hunting for a submission.
We're hearing Dodge's corner say to turn to him, Eric. I'm wondering if you could just translate that a little bit for the audience back home.
not sure what they're looking for. I'm assuming they're wanting him to get to the side like that, so that he can maybe attack him alone.
Get a little bit of movement going.
Yeah.
He looks like he's trying to.
Dave Selyusted has seen enough. Final 20 seconds of the bout. Stands them up.
A smart stand up there. They were in the stalemate. But this is where Palau needs to win the fight or lose it.
Dodge back in, trying to get under those hips once again. Final 10 seconds. Looks like it will probably go to the judges' scorecards. Palau trying to stay upright. First fight of the night is going to go to the judges' scorecards. We're going to get Jason's up in just a little bit. Eric, your thoughts on what just transpired the last 9 minutes?
Great first fight, especially for two debut guys. I really was impressed, obviously, with Dodge's control, being able to hold to dictate where the fight was going. We saw some really strong moments from Palau, but Palau honestly just didn't control the fight. Didn't land enough when he was on his feet and was stuck.
I do want to mention Palau was a black belt as a kid growing up. We see Jason's unofficial scorecard. He's up in the cage right now, but Jason believing that Dodge did get it done 3 rounds to none. We will have to see how the judges played it out. Eric, in your opinion, what do you think of this unofficial scorecard?
I agree with Jason, even if I wanted to argue with him a little bit. I think he's got it right. Just too much control. Dodge landed some good ground and pound, had those 2 really, really vicious crosses. I believe it was in the second round, and I just think he ran away with it a little bit, especially towards the end.
And we'll talk about this more a little bit later on, but getting 9 minutes, going to a decision in your first fight ever, I mean, that's really quality time for the future of your career. Both of these guys making the walk for the very first time, and they get as much out of it as they possibly can.
Yeah, and I listened to the podcast with Zach that you and Zach had done, and Zach really nailed it on the head. This is the time to learn, right? This is the time to come in, take some chances, get ready, stay ready, and get that experience. When you go pro, then you need to start looking at a few different things, but this is the best time to get your experience, get your reps in, get some of those jitters out. I mean, I only had 2 amateur MMA fights after I had 5 amateur Muay Thai fights. It probably still would have benefited from 5 more MMA fights.
I remember you actually said that on the last broadcast that we had you on. You said specifically, I wish I would have had more time just to get those reps in when the fights don't necessarily matter that much.
Well, your record weighs heavily as you go pro, based on the kind of fights you get. The matchups, whether you're main or co-main, things like that, they make a big difference. Fighter pay, things like that make a big difference in your record. So, now's the time to make the mistakes so you can grow going forward.
Well, we will have to see how this all plays out. We're going to jump over to Jackson Hopes. It looks like we finally have the judges' scorecards in hand. We're going to kick it off over to him.
Fierce fans, make some noise again for that first amateur bout with these debuts. It's going to be a fun night, that's for sure. Fierce fans, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the blue corner, Landon Dodge.
It's on, right? Yeah, no. Landon, come on over here, buddy. You got your mouthpiece out? Yeah. Congratulations, buddy. Thank you. All right, we're going to look at this camera right here. You're going to have to, All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Mr. Landon Dodge. Landon, debut performance. You come out with a win. It seemed like the game plan was to come in, start using some of that jiu-jitsu and wrestling. What was your game plan coming in tonight?
It's exactly that. Get him on the ground and punish him from there.
You did a pretty good job of that.
Appreciate it.
So you're 1-0 now. Did anything throw you off in this fight? Did anything throw off? You didn't seem you wanted to stand with him. Did he have you in any trouble? It looked like he had a guillotine in the first round. Any trouble?
No, the guillotine was not tied in time. But standing up, I was a little worried to start out.
So 1-0 now. Where do you go from here, man?
We'll see.
I love it. Anybody want to thank sponsors, friends, or family?
I thank my entire family for coming out. Came out for Texas. And I want to thank my gym and my boys back in Cedar City for supporting me through this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Landon Dodge. Congratulations, brother.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening is sponsored by Damage Plan Insurance. They are your one-stop shop, offering the best coverage and price for your home, auto, and life insurance. Do something today that your future self will thank you for later, and don't settle for anything less than the best. Damage Plan Insurance. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome the next two fighters to the cage.
Back-to-back fierce events for 9th BJJ in Las Vegas. Enter Gio Guzman, making the walk following 3 years of jiu-jitsu and 1 year of kickboxing. Eric, a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, been diligent in his training over the years. Where were you at skill-wise when you made your amateur debut in 2013?
Very much a kickboxer. I had done some jiu-jitsu very early in my training days. In my early 20s, I did about 2 years of jiu-jitsu, but up till that, I was living in California doing Muay Thai. So the transition for me was just defensive wrestling to try to make sure I was striking with them.
Gio Guzman facing off against Braden, Judd. Jason, a little interesting stat here. Back-to-back events where we've had 9th BJJ versus GEMA fighters. Andrew Mickelson fighting Roger Ashley last month.
Yeah, I love seeing Zach bringing in our matchmaker, bringing in these out-of-state fighters to come in here and fight our local guys so they're not beating up on each other.
Turned 28 years old on Wednesday is Gio Guzman making his debut here tonight. Braden Judd also making his debut. Weighing in at 173.5 pounds. He missed weight by 2.5 pounds, unfortunately, but still makes the walk. The show must go on for these two. And I do also want to mention, for anyone who is watching live, we are going to be making a social media post for the internet issues that we are having here at this specific venue. We will be refunding every single person who bought the pay-per-view tonight, and we will be posting it as soon as possible for everyone to watch. But as for now, we will continue to work here at Mountain View High School. Braden Judd about to make the walk. Well, no difference opposite Gio is Braden Judd, another debuting fighter out of Agema, the first of 4 to make the walk for them tonight. Jason Agima, one of the most active MMA gyms in the state. Seems like there is always a new name popping up from Provo.
Yeah, their gym is stacked. They're one of the most popular gyms in the state right now. Court McGee, Dana Ristabal, they got a great thing going down there at Agima Jiu-Jitsu. Their fighters are always prepared. They're ready to go.
Well,
It's going to be a great fight.
You see Arthur, you see Tyler Call, you see Kavika, but no Dane or Court here. They are in Charlotte for UFC Charlotte. Court McGee, unfortunately, losing earlier on today. But still, 4 fighters from Agima. They top the card with the most fighters here tonight. 4 coming out of Provo. They are so busy. It seems like they always top the cards.
Yeah, they do. Like I said, they got a ton of fighters. Their gym's right there in the mall down there in Provo. So I'm sure they're getting a lot of traffic from just people at the gym. I love it. I love seeing it. I love seeing these guys making their debuts. This is great. This is great for the sport. It's great for Utah MMA.
4 years of wrestling for Braden Judd. 1 year of jiu-jitsu at Agima. Felt like he was ready, and no fighter out of Agima makes that walk until they get the green light from Dana Risazabal. He feels like he's ready, and he's making the walk here for the very first time. Braden Judd making weight yesterday at 169 pounds. There he is, entering the cage for the very first time. We jump over to the tail of the tape. Guzman, 6-year senior to Judd. Judd, 6 feet tall. Guzman standing at 5'10". Both fighters making their debut here tonight. We're going to jump over to Jackson Hopes to make it to kick things off.
All right, Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening is sponsored by Damage Plan Insurance. This fight is an amateur welterweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing the first fighter fighting out of the blue corner, making his amateur debut. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in above the contracted weight at 173.5 pounds. Fighting out of Night Isle Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, hailing from Las Vegas, Nevada. Fierce fans, make some noise for Judd Guzman! And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, making his amateur debut. He stands 6 feet 0 inches tall and weighed in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of Agima Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, hailing from Stansbury Park, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Braden Judd!
Giovanni Guzman in the blue gloves. Braden Judd counters in the red. This welterweight bout is brought to you by Damage Plan Insurance, your one-stop shop for a plan to fit your needs. Damage Plan Insurance, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Judd in early on that takedown. A beautiful takedown there, Eric.
Yeah, great hip toss. Interested to see how the 4 years of wrestling versus the 3 years of jiu-jitsu kind of pan out here on the ground. Good pause.
Big shot.
Big shot.
Braden landed that clean, and that's going to do it. 36 seconds, no problem for Braden Judd out of Agima.
Big heavy hands. Big heavy hands on the ground.
That shot that finished him, I think it was the first initial shot where Dave Sully thought, oh my gosh, his eyes are rolling back.
Yeah, his posture just kind of went limp there for a minute. I think it might have been a little bit of a flash, but the follow-up for sure finished it. I mean, no questions asked. Dave's one of the best.
36 seconds in the debut. Quite a different tale from what we saw in the first bout, Eric. But Braden Judd gets it done here. That's got to feel pretty good for your debut. I mean, he looked really good there. Just that little hip toss that he had, that was...
Came out very aggressive. Made sure he got right on top. Got some posture. Was able to create some distance and just rain those strikes. It was about as textbook as you want, especially from a debut fighter.
The beauty and the duality of MMA. Sometimes the fight's in, 3 rounds and absolutely action-packed. Other times, it just takes a couple of seconds.
Well, it doesn't pay better to be in there longer. So, if you're finishing the fight early, that's a better night. That's definitely the case.
The tell-old tale of we don't get paid by the hour for these MMA fighters. They want to get in there as quickly as possible. We are ready to make it official with Jackson Hopes.
Fierce fans, referee Dave Selyaset has called us up to this contest at 35 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO out of the red corner, Braden Judd.
Braden. Braden. Let's talk, man. Let's chat. Where's my camera guy? Where's my camera guy at? I don't get a camera guy? I guess we'll just base that camera over here. You got your mouthpiece out? Yeah. So when I put this up, you're going to speak to this one and try to beat the mic, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Braden Judd. Braden, that was an impressive performance, man. How you feeling?
Like it didn't even start?
Did you expect that coming in here? Did you expect it to finish, get it done that quick?
No, I was expecting to go all 3 rounds.
So want to know now, what's next, man? Where do you go from here?
Airborne school.
I love it. I love it.
I'm excited. Let's go.
Are you going to keep fighting?
Hell yeah.
Is there anybody you want to thank, sponsors, friends, or family?
Yeah, all my family, coaches, all my teammates, everybody who's helped me get here. So this is awesome.
Awesome performance, man. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Braden Judd.
First time in a long time, Thomas Braden. What a fight! These guys are just trading big shots back and forth. Oh, and that's going out. A quick night at the office for the kids head off Palau. My house.
Saturday, June 24th, Fierce Fighting Championship heads back to Idaho Falls as Fierce FC heavyweight champion Kent Mafaleo looks to defend his title against Bellator veteran Rudy Shafroth. For tickets, head over to fiercefightingchampionship.com. Welcome back in the broadcast booth. I mean, Jason, it was one clean shot, and that was all it took, really. I mean, he landed a few more after, but an unbelievable performance from Braden Judd.
Unbelievable. I guess that if you're going to start off your career, that's a great way to start off your career. And hats off to him going to airborne school. I love it. I was going to tell him he should have picked the Marine Corps, but I just saw his knockout, so I figured I'd let that one slide.
Better part of valor,
Yeah.
right?
Well, we are just about ready for our third of 5 here on our prelims. Another debuter making the walk in just a second is going to be Leone Alatini out of Ultimate Combat Training Center in Salt Lake City. Jackson Hoops is primed for it. We're going to send it over to him right now.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening is sponsored by FST Filtration. They provide the best manufactured HVAC products for your home and business. Go to fstfiltration.com, take the 2-minute air filters quiz, and place your order and get fresh air filters delivered to you whenever you need them from FST Filtration. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome the next 2 fighters to the cage.
First time making that walk to an MMA cage, but years of combat experience back the resume of Leone Alatini. The 20-year-old out of UCTC has been wrestling since he was 11 years old. Jason, there is no doubt that will be at the ready here in his debut.
Yeah, he's going to be ready. I mean, look who's in his corner. He's got Julian Ruiz, one of the top pro prospects in Utah right now in his corner. I talked to Julian beforehand the fight. He said, hey, I've seen a lot of potential in this kid. I had to get him in the cage. So if he's saying that, I'm expecting good things tonight from Tassi.
Now, Julian Ruiz in his corner, one of the best boxers, one of the best strikers in the entire state. Leone Alatini also took a boxing match in November of last year. He lost by decision, but he was seemingly unscathed in the process, and he wanted to get back in there as quickly as possible. He makes that transition over to MMA here today. Eric, I can't wait for this guy.
Yeah, I'll be very excited to see him with some wrestling background as well, some striking. Usually that turns into a great matchup. Again, being able to dictate where you're going to fight and being comfortable fighting in the stand-up or on the ground.
20 years of age for Tassi Alatini, one of 7 making that debut here tonight at Mountain View High School as he enters the Fierce Fighting Championship cage. Fierce Challenger Series cage, I should say. Cross Hughes waiting in the wings. What a pop that is. 28 months away, but back once again is Cross Hughes. The Excite MMA featherweight has been away for quite some time, but Eric, an 0-1 record can be extremely valuable in these early matchups. He's got 9 minutes of MMA time already under his belt.
Well, it gives you a depth of what you need to work on, where you need to be, and you know how to improve. You can only find out how you can get better by doing it.
28 months away from the sport of MMA is Cross Hughes, the 23-year-old out of Excite MMA. And Jason, he took his first fight after just 4 months of training. He's much more experienced now than he was when he made that first fight, when he made that first walk back in January 2021.
Yeah, as Eric said, once you get in there and you get in the cage, you get that experience, you learn the things that you need to work on. We'll see how that's going to translate when he gets in here and he fights Tassi in this fight. Tassi, he hasn't been in the cage, but he has been in the ring, so he does have a little bit of experience in fighting in front of crowds. So we'll see how that transitions into the cage. You can hear the pop from the Hughes fans.
Age flies by way of Cross Hughes, 23 years of age. Alatini's 20 years old. 1 inch taller is Hughes. Hughes, with that 0-1 record, Alatini making his debut here tonight. Cross Hughes told me that he fights a lot like Cheeto Vera, good on the feet, solid jiu-jitsu. I can't wait to see that. He trains alongside the Fierce FC welterweight champion Carson Hardman.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by FST Filtration. This fight is an amateur featherweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing the first fighter fighting out of the blue corner. Making his amateur debut, he stands 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of UC, TC, and Ruiz Enterprises fight team, hailing from West Valley City, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Leone Alatini! And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 0 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 9.5 inches tall and weighed in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Excite MMA, hailing from Mina, Arkansas. Fierce fans, make some noise for Cross Hughes!
Debuting Tassi Alatini in the blue gloves, Cross Hughes back after 2.5 years away in the red gloves. This featherweight bout is brought to you by FST Filtration. Fresh air filters delivered for when you need them most. FST Filtration, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. This featherweight bout is oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, sorry to interrupt you. I was going to say, look at the size of Tassi's quads. Legs are huge.
In for that takedown early. Cross does a great job.
Hand takes the back.
A handful of tables for Cross Hughes right behind us. As he looks good here, first couple of seconds here in round number 1, Eric.
He looks great. Good control. He's taking the back.
Over 2 years away for Cross Hughes.
You know, he probably learned something in that first fight. He just knew he needed a little more seasoning.
Quite the pop for Cross Hughes out of Excite MMA.
I see Tassi trying to break those grips right now.
Nice knee to the body landed by Hughes.
These do not look like debuters, Eric.
No, they're fighting. They're fighting hard. So I'd like to see Cross get a little more sideways, but it'll help him breathe. There he goes. Good turnaround.
Back to the center of the cage they go. Just looking at this with the naked eye, Eric, both are so quick.
Very fast. I'd like to see Cross jab a little bit. He's trying to find some distance, hanging that left hand out there.
Jason Alatini really utilizing those kicks early.
He really is. He's keeping that distance from the longer fighter. Now he's throwing some big shots.
Alatini starting to find a home in the cage. Here early, lands one on the chin. Cross Hughes eats it no problem, but backing up once again is Hughes.
Cross being the taller fighter, I'd like him to jab a little bit and use some range until he's ready to close the distance.
3.5 inches taller is Hughes, 5'9.5". Slapping leg kick landed there by Alatini.
Cross looks open for an overhand.
Yeah, he's keeping his hands really
Hands
low.
are very low.
Nice knee to the body there landed by Hughes. Final 10, round 1. Alatini trying to get underneath the hips, but Hughes doing a great job. Staying upright here to close out round number 1. We're going to get that unofficial scorecard up in just a second, but what a high-octane round so far. That was interesting.
Very busy, very hard to score.
Yeah, that was a tough one to score. That one's a hard one. You'll see my score here in a second. I'll go over this.
We see Julian starting to coach a little bit at the head of the corner. We got it up there right now. You gave it to Hughes, Jason.
I gave that one to Hughes. I mean, he came out aggressive. He had the back. He actually landed some hard shots. But then again, you could make a case for Alatini because he was landing some shots the last minute and a half of that round. He landed some nice solid leg kicks. He connected on a couple overhand rights. I just felt Hughes was landing a little bit more of the damaging shots the first couple minutes of the fight. So, I mean, slight lean to Hughes, but I would not be upset if Alatini got that.
Yeah, that one could go either way. Hughes controlled him against the cage a little bit more. That one's tough.
We will have to see what the judges think, but maybe not. A finish could be imminent here in this featherweight bout. Once again, Hughes in the red gloves, Alatini in the blue. Both fighters seemingly fresh here early in round number 2.
Hughes is extremely confident. Nice leg kicks. Like Eric mentioned, that first round throwing that jab, his jab is snapping. If he keeps throwing
that jab will win the fight for him, as snappy as it is, but he's got to throw it.
and that leg kick is
He looks like he's finding some confidence here.
Both throwing extremely heavy cross. Hughes swinging for the fences, but no avail there. Nice calf kick landed by Hughes in the process, though. Alatini finds his way back to it. Connects on the head a little bit of Hughes.
You can see Alatini's right leg, right, his calf is all bruised up from those kicks.
Calf kicks are difficult. Sometimes you don't feel them as much in the cage, but they hurt you for a week, 2 weeks after.
Crosses landed some very clean ones on that lead leg. Standing southpaw is Alatini.
I'd like to see Cross uses Cross with a left hook here. I try to tell my fighters if you're going up top, finish with a hook or finish the body. Changing levels will help.
An interesting matchup. Very evenly matched between these two halfway through round number 2. Big overhand right landed there by Alatini as he starts to go to work. Cross Hughes. Spinning back fist. You don't see that all the time in amateur MMA, Eric.
He was a little out of position. It was a good move to get his feet back under him. Nice right hand there. You see this a lot in amateur MMA where they don't check kicks. If one of them just committed to burying some of those kicks in that thigh, that could change this fight in a hurry.
Alatini finding a home here late. Neither fighter giving up any sort of position or any telegraph of.
Hughes' mouth is very open. He's trying to catch some breath.
Nice.
Really
shot.
nice striking sequence. I would like to see him when they are throwing their kicks, mix the hands in with it. That lead leg of Alatini is showing some wear.
Alatini finds a home for the body once again. In for the takedown. Final 10 seconds.
You know, that's a great way to seal a round. To try to win a round. If you put a guy on his back, if it's close, that one can steal it.
We're going to get the unofficial scorecard up in just a second. But Jason, what did you kind of see just outside of who won the round? But what did you see in there?
I felt Cross came out. He looked extremely confident in that round. He was throwing his jab. He was throwing his straight right down the middle. The leg kicks were phenomenal. And you can see Tossi's legs all bruised up. I gave that round. I thought that was a little bit easier round to score 10-9. Just to echo what Eric said, though, finishing the round for Alatini on top, I don't feel like he did enough to steal that round. But once again, it's a close fight. Very evenly matched fighters.
I did like to see Hughes when he came out. He looked like he really found some rhythm. He was landing some really good strikes. He looked really loose.
Tassi Alatini last November went to a decision 3 minutes away from one. Once again, Cross Hughes went to a decision against Antonio Smith back in January of 2021. Third and final round is upon us here in what has been a striking showcase between these two. Cross Hughes popular with this OREM backdrop here tonight at Fierce Challenger Series 5. Nice inside leg kick landed by Alatini. Cross Hughes throws one to return.
I'm wondering how much those leg kicks are starting to affect because he can't lean into any of those shots on that right leg right now.
Hughes lands a devastating shot. Alatini steps back just a bit. Cross Hughes now applying a little bit more pressure.
If I'm Alatini, I'm watching Hughes' footwork. His feet are coming together. That's a sign of fatigue, but that would be a good takedown or kick attempt there.
Great read, Eric. That's why we have you here.
I'm not just pretty.
We love having you. We're trying to get you back for the first time since September. Hughes lands a beautiful left hook there.
I'm really enjoying this fight. I'm happy to be here. I appreciate you guys bringing me back.
Nice teep to the body. Finds Hughes back up against the cage, but back to the center they go.
I feel like that leg is affecting Tassi right now. He can't put anything on that right hand.
Very bruised, discolored, Eric.
You know, Tassi's landed some kicks too, but Hughes doesn't show the wear that Tassi does from him. Nice cross, beautiful cross.
Cross Hughes starting to tee off a little
I'd like
bit.
to see Hughes turned up right here because he looks like he's in trouble.
Second half of round number 3, under 90 seconds to go. Hughes going to work.
Hughes is teeing off on him.
Alatini finds him back.
Alatini's standing right in the pocket with him. He's not backing down.
Remaining calm in the storm as Tassi Alatini, Cross Hughes trying to find that finishing blow. Final minute of round number 3.
Another spinning back face.
That just missed. Oh, nice one.
Straight on the
1-2.
What are you reading in the body language, Eric?
Honestly, I think if Hughes is just busy, he doesn't need to try to throw everything into every shot. If he's just touching him, he's going to walk away with this beautiful right hand.
Cross is
And uppercut.
landing on the button for the Excite MMA fighter.
You know, I think if Cross throws a couple to the head and just buries the body and finishes with the head, he'll finish this fight.
Diversify the strikes a bit.
Change levels. Right there, go to the body. He attempted. All-out war right
Dave Selyusted getting close. Might finish this.
Alatini.
Teeing off, and that'll do it!
Great show of heart. Got some excitement in the crowd.
Well, you don't need my scorecard for this round.
No, I don't think you do.
That was a war.
Yeah, it was a great fight. Fantastic fight.
Cross Hughes gets it done. We got the backdrop here for Cross Hughes. As excited as can be. Eric, Alatini looked fantastic in there.
He did look great. You know, the first 2 rounds, he was doing a good job. He was busy. Cross definitely walked away. That last round, obviously, he stopped him, but.
What a fight that was. Got to be fight of the night so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unbelievable moment for Cross Hughes. What a moment for both. But it belongs to Cross Hughes out of Excite MMA. He gets it done here late in round number 3.
Here's Chill, for sure. What a great fight. Everything excited. That's all the stop to this contest at 2 minutes and 50 seconds of the 3rd round. Declaring the winner by TKO out of the red corner, Cross Hughes.
Got your mouthpiece out, big dog? Yeah. All right, we're going to face this camera right here. You got to, beat the mic when talking to you, right? Oh, yeah. I'm going to put it up right so you can talk into this one right here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up one more time for both these warriors inside the cage. What a phenomenal fight. Cross, that was a phenomenal performance. That Cross was looking good all night long, man. How you feeling tonight?
It felt good. I'm tired now, but it felt like a war. And then, honestly, my plan was just put pressure on him so he started tiring out and then try to finish. And that's kind of how it went.
So you got your first win inside the cage. You're 1-1 now. You got quite the crowd over here.
Yeah, I got a fan base.
What's next for you, man?
Just keep fighting and see. I feel like I got a lot of potential. And just see where it goes. Keep training.
You definitely got a ton of potential. Anybody you want to thank tonight?
Everyone who came out and saw me, and just any of my friends and teammates that helped me get here.
All right, let's give it up for your winner, Cross Hughes.
Keeps it night.
Cross Hughes is still in the cage, as excited as can be. You can't really see it here on the actual camera, but he has at least 2-3 dozen people behind him, and they are absolutely stoked.
Yeah, it's great to see the enthusiasm out of his fans and friends.
We've got kind of a soft barrier around here. They actually flipped a couple chairs. For everyone who might be watching back home, I apologize to the Cross Hughes fans. I got a little mad because I just want everyone safe on the inside, but all good, no worries. No harm, no foul. Jason, what a fight that was.
What a phenomenal fight. Fight of the night so far. Cross Hughes, he looked great in there. I love the confidence from that kid. He has a lot of potential, and so does Alatini. I mean, take nothing away from that kid. He kept coming forward. He kept marching forward. He did a lot of good things in that fight. I said it during the fight. I felt like those calf kicks were adding up in that second and third round, though. I felt like that affected his striking.
Eric, do you share that sentiment?
Yeah, I think the work to the legs, especially that, if you're working the legs that way, it's really going to slow a guy down, especially somebody small, shorter and compact that tends to be explosive. You can take a lot of that explosion away by working those legs.
Well, 145 was fun. We got a 165-pound fight coming up next. Talon Carvalho is going to be taking on Chandler Stone. Jackson Hooks is going to get you ready for it.
All right, Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening is sponsored by KC Tree Care. This veteran-owned and operated business provides affordable professional tree services. Quality work with prices that won't leave you stumped at KC Tree Care. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome the next 2 fighters to the cage.
Another debuting fighter making the walk tonight. Enter Talon Carvalho, the 21-year-old out of the Pitt SLC. Though green in his career, has already shown promise in his performances. Eric, just 3 months of training, but went 5-1 last month in his first jiu-jitsu competition. From what I understand, Talon has been very exceptional early on. How much can that carry out in his debut?
It shows a lot of athletic ability, and athletic ability and coachability really can speed up a fighter's development immensely.
Fighting out of the Pitt SLC, 21 years of age. I mean, Jason, Talon Carvalho training alongside Kent Mafaleo, Julian Ruiz, some of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the entire state.
They are two of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the state. I was telling Julian earlier tonight that I don't know what they're doing over there, but they are producing some fighters right now out of the Pitt SLC.
He knew he wanted to take a fight as soon as he started training 3 months ago. Grew up watching MMA. Getting primed and ready with him is Dominico Salas as well as Ramsey Nijam. Talon Carvalho makes the walk at 165 pounds here tonight. He's going to be facing off against Chandler Stone as he enters the cage. Well, October didn't go exactly to plan, but back in searching to seize a win is Chandler Stone. And Jason, he may not have gotten the win he was looking for, but he certainly learned a whole lot in that 2-round war with Spencer McNaughton late last year.
Yeah, that was a war. That was an all-out war. That was a great fight. I expect this one to be a banger, too. I think these guys are going to throw down.
He stays calm in the storm. He was dropped in the first 23 seconds of that fight, but he stayed the course and had no problem finishing out that round against Spencer McNaughton, fighting out of Koa Kingdom, some of the best strikers in the entire state.
Yeah, you got Bobby King in this corner, and who was no slouch. Bellator vet, Fierce Fighting Championship veteran, champion.
Last fight at 160 pounds. This one at 165 pounds.
All right, Fierce fans. This fight is sponsored by KC Tree Care. This fight is an amateur super lightweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, making his amateur debut. He stands 6 feet tall and weighed in at 165 pounds. Fighting out of the Pitt SLC, hailing from Benjamin, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Talon Carvalho! And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 0 wins and 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighing at 162.5 pounds. Fighting out of Koa Kingdom, hailing from Clinton, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Chandler Stone!
Talon Carvalho making his debut in the blue. Chandler Stone back once again in the red. This 165-pound bout is brought to you by KC Tree Care, providing professional tree service with prices that won't leave you stumped. KC Tree Care, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Nice teep to the body early by Chandler Stone, finding that range. Both fighters coming by way of northern Utah.
Nice left hook.
Beautiful takedown by Carvalho. Went 5-1 in his first grappling competition just a few months ago. 4 of his 5 wins coming by submission. Stone on the bottom. Carvalho on top.
Stone doing all right things. Running reversal. Got his frames in.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Again, that reversal immediately.
Chandler looking to maybe try to set up something here, but looks like he's not on the right side for that triangle, Eric.
He's still working it, though.
A high guard nonetheless.
Yeah. Nice rounded pound here.
Carvalho head hunting from the top. Stone weathering the storm again, Jason. Calm, cool, and collected is Stone.
He does not look phased.
He just ate a big right hand, a big left hand.
In for the takedown is Stone. Carvalho trying to keep himself back up. The Marco's Pizza decal.
Clean right hand there.
Talon landing some big shots from the top. Looks like Stone is searching for a leg there, and it's
He's hurt.
That'll do it! Talon Carvalho, have yourself a debut!
He's definitely hurt. Talon very aggressive, very, very aggressive.
He was head hunting early. Still down is Stone. Getting checked by the doctor.
He's up.
Back upright is Stone. Carvalho showing the respect on the other side of the cage. Nearing his corners is Stone. An unfortunate way to end, but still a great fight when it did last, Eric.
Great fight. A lot of busy exchanges on the ground, back and forth, and then Talon just knew that that's how he was going to win. He looked confident, was engaged in doing it, and really worked that ground and pound viciously.
Big win for Talon Carvalho out of the pit. SLC only been training for 3 months, but my goodness, I cannot wait to see what the future holds for him.
Yeah, I'm excited to see his career develop.
What impressed you by him early on?
His aggression. He was like a coiled spring. He was ready to go after him and knew what he wanted to do.
We see Chandler Stone all smiles, seems to have his wits back about him. I apologize. Bobby King congratulating Talon Carvalho as well as Chandler Stone. All love between the two at 165 pounds. The crowd loves that as well.
Great sportsmanship.
We're going to make it official with Jackson Hopes.
Fierce fans, Dave Selyaset has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes and 8 seconds of the very first round, declaring your winner by knockout out of the blue corner, Talon Carvalho!
All right, everybody. Talon's trying to catch his breath here. Talon, did I hear it right? I was talking to your coach. Only 3 months of training?
Yes, sir. That's right.
That was a phenomenal performance. Was there anything that threw you off in there? It looked like his length might have thrown you off right at the beginning. Did that throw you off?
I mean, he was long, so I was like, I got to get on the inside now. I didn't realize he was going to be that long, but we made it work.
Yeah, you got it done. Phenomenal performance. You're 1-0 now. Where do you go from here, man?
I want to get back to the gym and train and get better. That's what I'm doing. Let's go.
Got a lot of family and friends here. Anybody you want to thank tonight?
I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. And thank you to my team, my coaches. This is an amazing experience, and we're going to get back in here.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Talon Carvalho.
I want to get back and get better. What a sentiment by Talon Carvalho.
Wow. And only 3 months of training. Ramsey Jean pulled me aside and said, I thought it was 6. It's only 3 months that kid's been training.
It's unbelievable. And he seemed to have no issues in that.
No. I mean, even before the fight, before they touched gloves, he was jumping around in the corner, smiling, laughing.
You know, I watched his footwork a little bit when he was testing the cage and walking the cage, and his footwork looked really crisp for somebody that's only been in there 3 months. I think it definitely shows his dedication.
Well, we will have to see what the future holds for him. I was telling Eric, I just can't wait to see him in the future.
Oh, yeah. Let's bring him back. You know, I thought Chandler Stone, he was doing some good things. He was popping that jab out really nice. You know, I never want to critique anybody. I felt like he made a mistake going for that leg, which and then he got caught with that shot. He'll live and learn. That's what the amateur ranks are for.
Glad to see he seemed to have his wits about him.
Yeah.
Chandler Stone, unfortunately, losing again here tonight, but still, he looks good.
He looks good. He's got nothing to hang his head about. I mean, he's got a bright future. Keep at it. Let's get him back in here.
This is the amateur ranks. This is the time to make some adjustments and come back better.
4 down, some unbelievable matches. We've seen some incredible performances as well. We're here to headline our prelims in just a moment. Brendan Myers is going to be making the walk alongside Chase Barrett. We're going to bring him out right now.
All right, fierce fans. Our final fight of the preliminary card is sponsored by Empathetics Healthcare. They are the Utah's largest medical card clinic with locations from Ogden to St. George, including the new mobile Cannabis. If you suffer from persistent pain, nausea, cancer, or any of Utah's qualifying conditions, contact Empathetics Healthcare. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome to the cage the next 2 fighters.
Coming by way of Brute Force Fight Team, enter Chase Barrett. The 19-year-old stands 6 feet tall and weighed in yesterday at the flyweight limit. Eric, 6 feet for a flyweight. There has to be some advantages for you there.
Just depends on training and what they've been working on. He should definitely be able to control the range if he's using his jab and his kicks, keep him on the outside. I'm interested to see what kind of ground game he has. Because sometimes a taller fighter, when you get on the inside of him, you take him down, they can struggle getting back up.
So I got a little stat for you on that. He started training in 2021. He wrestled up until high school, but then he stopped. He told me last week that he does regret that he didn't wrestle all the way through high school, but nonetheless, he does have some sort of a ground game. 6 feet tall, weighed in yesterday, not at the flyweight limit, but 121.5 pounds. Jason, I did talk to him, and he told me that he did cut weight. It just seems like he cut a little bit more than he actually needed to.
Yeah, we need to get him a protein shake and some chicken.
He needs a sandwich.
He's a young kid. He'll fill in 10 more years. He's going to be looking like Eric Iman over here. Solid.
Eric Iman, the number 3 heavyweight in the entire state of Utah. If you ever choose to come back, Eric, I would love to call one of your fights. Chase Barrett, the last making the debut here tonight. He's going to be taking on Brendan Myers. An interesting one here. 6 feet taller will be Barrett. As he kind of stumbles into the cage, it looks like he might have tripped a little bit, but he's all right. We're going to get Brendan Myers out here right now. Well, it wouldn't feel like a Challenger Series without that flyweight slated on the bill. Brendan Myers, the 24-year-old out of Agima Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, staying busy as of late. Second walk in just under 2 months. Jason, to be completely candid, I'm surprised to see him back so soon considering the way the last fight ended back in March.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see him back this quick, but he's back. He's ready to fight. He even stood on a chair last night so he could get face to face with Mr. Barrett.
In the corner, Caitlin Neal, who actually was on the call with us last month at the Maverick Center, Arthur Kleinfeld as well. Kleinfelder, I apologize. And Jason, Brendan told me that he felt like he has never been better than when he fought against Tony Garcia. That first round specifically, he looked very similar to how he looked against Dietrich. Head full of steam, searching for submissions, and never giving up.
Yeah, the experience he has at 2 fights, I think it's going to pay dividends tonight for him. I think it's going to pay. I think it's going to pay off that experience. But we'll see. Barrett's got that length. He hasn't fought anybody with that kind of length. Yeah, we're going to see. This is what it's all about.
Again, I'm interested in seeing what the ground game looks like. the thing to remember on the feet is, even though he's the shorter opponent, the leg kicks can equalize the distance.
Taking a look at the tail of the tape, 5-year senior is Myers. Again, 6 feet tall is Barrett, as well as 5'6" for Brendan Myers. 6-inch differential there for the two flyweights. Myers 1-1. Barrett making his debut, the final debut. We're here tonight. We're going to jump over to Jackson Hopes to get us ready to start this headlining prelim.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Empathetics Healthcare. This fight is an amateur flyweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner. Making his amateur debut, he stands 6 feet tall and weighed in at 121.5 pounds. Fighting out of Brute Force Fight Team. Hailing from Roosevelt, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Chase, the scrappy Barrett. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 1 win and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed in at 124.5 pounds. Fighting out of Agima Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, hailing from Columbus, California. Fierce fans, make some noise for Brendan the Menace Myers.
Final debuter of the card, Chase Barrett in the blue. Agima's Brendan Myers counters in the red gloves. This prelim headliner is brought to you by Empathetics, Utah's largest medical card clinic from Ogden all the way down to St. George. Empathetics, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Third fight in 7 months for Myers. Debut here for Barrett. Myers staying busy early on the feet.
Myers is teeing off on Barrett.
Yeah, you're seeing Myers with the experience.
The thing to remember is the distance, the height doesn't make as much difference if Myers is in past his wrists, especially in the amateurs where you're not using elbows.
Some big shots landed by Myers. A knee to the body as well. Just relentless, looking to possibly get a takedown here.
Taking his back.
Yeah, he ate some big shots early on.
Looks like he's got him.
Done.
Myers on the back, and that'll be the tap. A bullseye for Brendan Myers. He gets it done in the first round, the first finish of his career.
He came out like the house was burning.
Busy as can be was Brendan Myers. Chase Barrett, unfortunately, disappointed in his performance. But, Eric, what do you got?
Well, so Myers being aggressive and making sure he was in Barrett's face was really the difference, right? Being aggressive, getting past his wrist so that he couldn't hit him with his hands. You know, a tall, lanky guy like Barrett probably should work some tie clinch and some things like that in case he's getting beat on the distance, so he has another option.
Head full of steam the entire time. It was tough to defend those things, but that man right there, I mean, he looked unbelievable in there in his third fight.
Yeah, fantastic. Strung together combinations really well. Was landing straights and hooks. I don't think Barrett felt like he could get out of the way of what was coming his way.
Congratulations from Dave Selyusted. Jackson Hopes is here to make it official.
Fierce fans, referee Dave Selyusted has called a stop to this contest at 49 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by submission due to rear naked choke out of the red corner, Brendan the Menace Myers.
Brendan, first last night, you give us one of the best face-offs in Fierce Challenger Series history, standing on the chair so you could get eye to eye with your opponent. And now tonight, you finish him in devastating fashion. What's going through your mind right now, man?
Hey man, that face-off, man. Everyone thought it was a joke getting on the stool, but for me, it was just making sure that any of the flyweights know that no one stands above me. I look down on everybody, and I'll let no one try to get on top of me.
After that performance,
I believe you. You came out here head full of steam. Was that the game plan to just come in here and take him out early?
Yeah, so the game plan was try to, find my range, in and out with the striking, and then get a submission. And perfect game plan, what can I say?
You're 2-1 now. What's next? Are we going to see you back in here?
Well, I know y'all are having a card in July, so there's a possibility I'll be back then.
I know a guy. Is there any family and friends you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, first I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Everything through him makes everything possible. And my corners, Art and Caitlin, helped me get ready for this fight, and Dane in court. Yeah. My sponsors, PG Software Solutions and Sweet Shack up in Ogden. Underdog Athletics. And I have 3 special shout-outs I want to give tonight, if that's all right. One of my friends out here in the crowd, Jacob Glover, it's his birthday next week. Shout out to Jacob. My sister, Melina Myers, watching at home. Shout out to you for your birthday as well. And then a special Mother's Day shout out to my mom. I love you so much. I hope you have a great Mother's Day.
Right on. Congratulations again on a phenomenal performance. Ladies and gentlemen, Brendan Myers.
Brendan Myers getting it done. One of the most emphatic, I apologize, Eric. One of the most emphatic wins of his career. In fact, the most emphatic win of his career. He looked unbelievable along with so many. That was a fantastic first 5 fights.
Well, one of the most emphatic wins of the night. Yeah, just fantastic. His team knew what they needed to do to overcome the distance and the size. They did it to a team.
Jason back in here. Jason, we're just talking about how incredible Brendan looked alongside all other 4 winners here tonight.
He looked phenomenal tonight. We actually saw that in his last fight, too. He came out with a head full of steam, and now we're seeing it again tonight. I really like this kid. He just keeps getting better and better. He's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun on the mic. He's fighting out of a great gym. Man, he must got some talent down there right now.
Well, this card seems to be getting better and better. We got 5 down, 5 to go. We're going to jump over where Zach Partridge and I got to talk about every single fighter that's going to be making the walk here on our main card. This is Fierce Challenger Series 5, presented by Water and Wellness.
I was obsessed with martial arts as a child.
I actually was there in the same camp was the B training to fight Connor.
I did not want to go in there. I would sit out in my car, my stomach's churning.
I just wanted to do good for MMA in Utah.
And so I didn't know how hurt I was.
I've already been in there under the lights so many times. I've seen so many punches come at me, so many kicks.
That wasn't a Hail Mary. That was calculated.
I want to take this to the top of the top.
I'm going to do it till I die. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if I lose, win. I'm going to be a fighter. I'm going to be a coach. I'm going to be a mentor. I'm going to be everything.
And once again, we are here for another Fight Week. Blake O'Ruling alongside Zach Partridge, as always, to break down the card just a little bit. And Zach, I know this has been a very, very difficult card to keep up and try to get everything figured out in a timely manner, but you finally have done it. The card is finalized. It is Fight Week. How are you?
Good. It's the fight game, right? Injuries happen, man, and we've just had an unfortunate amount on this card. I feel like our past few cards, though, we've been really fortunate to not have too many. So maybe the law of averages just caught up with us for a little bit, and now hopefully we can move on and have a bunch more.
We've got an absolutely stacked card here. I cannot wait for this Challenger Series card. I think we were talking the other day, and you said one of the best Challenger Series cards you think we've ever put together.
I think the main card is about the last 5 fights is of the people that we know that are on the card. It's about as good. It's as good as I can think of.
Brandon Burgess, as well as Bane, Varner, a couple of hometown people, a couple of Utah local fighters. What are you looking forward to with these two at 195 pounds?
It's going to be interesting. Bane, last time we saw him, it's been a while. It's been a few years for him. He was trying to make 170, missed weight, and now he's moving up. I think 185 will be his home. Brandon Burgess is a 185er. I like when fighters fight up a little bit, so they don't have to cut as much weight, especially as amateurs. So I really like that. They both have a wealth of experience, winning records. I think this is a very, very interesting fight that, I would say the winner of this fight could be looking and find themselves in their next fight being a number 1 contender type fight. for the title and the title picture. Again, it's a little interesting too, considering Bane is a teammate of Andrew Mickelson, our current 185 champion. So maybe not him as much, but this would definitely be a quality, good win for either of them. Both just tough grinders. How I describe both of them stylistically, I think this is going to be a really fun war.
I can't wait for it. Bane Varner, been at Agema for quite some time. Brandon Burgess, I can't wait to see what he looks like out of Jeremy Horn. Mina Ushrawadi making the walk once again against California's Carly Lombardo. Mina Ushrawadi, as well as Brendan Myers, the two most appearances in Fierce Challenger Series history. I apologize. Did I take that stat from you?
No, I thought I came up with the stat last night, and you're like, yeah, I already know. Brendan and Mina. I'm like, trying to get one over on you. That's all.
I apologize.
Mina in her last fight grappled a lot more than we're used to. I'm just stylistically, I think that's the way the fight happened. I think Carly will be a little bit more willing to engage on the feet. And Mina's really fun on the feet. Like we've seen that with when she fought Ludi. She's really fun on the feet. But also, fight IQ, I think Mina fights very smart as well. And, will fight wherever she needs to get her hand raised. Carly has quite a bit more fight experience than Mina in the actual cage. This will be her 8th walk to the cage, where this is Mina's 5th. So it's not like she's new to this either. But yeah, I'm really excited. Mina is somebody that she's not an easy person to match for necessarily, because I think people know, like, she's dangerous. She's dangerous on the feet. She's getting better on the ground. So I'm excited for Carly and her team to come out. I'm grateful for them for taking the fight. It's kind of a shorter notice fight, kind of a late add-on to the card. But again, fighters that want to fight. And so we made it happen.
Speaking of late notice, let's get into this next one. Tyler Daniel versus Malachi Novacelle. Now, just to be completely candid, we are recording this a couple days prior. We literally just signed this fight last night, Zach. I mean, it's pretty incredible that this is all happening. It's kind of a miracle that we found someone for Tyler Daniel. There's just been a lot of ups and downs and changes throughout the last couple of weeks trying to get a fight for this guy.
Yeah, when I say fighters fight and stuff, we had a handful of Utah fighters that were willing to step in finally. We offered it to a lot of people. And then it just kind of came down to what makes sense. I appreciate Tyler and his camp, his manager and coaches, really just being willing to fight everybody and get him the experience. He has a win over an 0-0 guy, and he has a win over an 0-2 guy. He's 2-1. They said, let's get him somebody with a winning record, somebody that will be a tough fight, a good test, and somebody that will, get him into the title picture for our vacant 170 title. That's their goal. So, and I applaud that. And so we gave them names where, first and foremost, Gio, that kid's a stud. That's a fight that not a lot of people want. And Tyler and his team were totally down and game to do it as a test. Again, that's what amateur is for, testing yourself, not protecting your record, not picking and choosing, testing yourself. And Tyler and his camp, they just said, give us a guy that makes sense and puts him, towards his goal, taking a step towards his goals. If he wins, great. We'll fight for a title soon. If he loses, it's a good learning experience. He knows where he'll know where he needs to go work on things. I think somebody like Malachi is a very good, litmus test on the bar to see where Tyler stacks up, because Malachi is one of the top amateurs in the state.
What an opportunity also to get Malachi back on a card, a 3-week turnaround. But here's the thing. This isn't the first time he's had a 3-week turnaround. He did this last February as well. Malachi is very prone to taking fights after having other fights. He is as active as they come, beating Ricky Mamone just a couple of weeks ago. We're going to jump over to our co-main event. We've got Adam Frank coming up from Las Vegas, facing off against Hector Lopez, who has been on quite the streak as of recent, Zach. This co-main event for the amateur featherweight title. I cannot wait for this one.
I think that this is probably the two amateurs on this card. They're both like right there, about to go pro, ready to go pro, right? Adam is an absolute stud in the jiu-jitsu world. He's one of those guys that specializes in jiu-jitsu, but obviously he's got it figured out and got it to translate. Some jiu-jitsu games don't translate to MMA as well. He's figured it out. He's very confident. He should be with the people that he trains with, has a lot of really good experience. But my goodness, Hector Lopez has shown to be an absolute beast in the featherweight division. He has finished two guys. I mean, here's one. Maybe this is a good stat for you. I'm sure you already know it. Hector Lopez is 5-3. His 3 losses are combined 6-1 as pros now.
I did not know that. That is a great stat. Thank you, Zach. I can see.
Got it. But I mean, his 3 losses to all studs, and then his 5 wins are all finishes in the first and second round. I mean, Hector's physical. He's violent. He's well-rounded. He has shown an ability on the feet as well on the ground to finish people. But Adam's no joke and is a step up. But I mean, this is the fight. Like for a title fight, this is what we want.
I cannot wait for it. I've been thinking about this one for weeks now at this point. I mean, it's just a quick 3-week turnaround. I look at the card, I go, oh my gosh, Hector Lopez is fighting Adam Frank. These are 2 of the biggest names in the West Coast. So I cannot wait for this one. It's definitely going to be one to stick around and check out. Speaking of which, the main event for sure, Octavian Trumbo taking on Lehigh Dominguez. 2 fighters, 2 professionals, our lone professional pairing on the card. Zach, I mean, this is another really, really exciting fight. Another big name from Nevada, another OG name of Utah. What are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to the most. Octavian's like the young stud up and comer, right? Lehigh, been around for a while. Like you said, Utah OG. Both amateur champions, Octavian and Lehigh, good amateur careers, pretty similar amateur careers actually. And Octavian got off to a rough start, but his pro career lost his first 2 fights, but now he's kind of rocking and rolling. Lehigh, he's a guy that on paper, I think people underestimate at times, but when you have to get into the cage there, it's a hard fight every time. I think, I don't know why. I think it's just maybe because he's such a nice guy. Maybe it's a little unassuming or whatever, but he's effective. And there are things in MMA that qualities and traits in MMA that are important. And one of the most important is, are you effective? It doesn't matter how hard you can hit if you're not accurate. It doesn't matter how quick and fast you are if you can't execute. It doesn't matter how talented you are at jiu-jitsu if you can't get the fight to the ground. Whenever we see Lehigh in there, whatever his game plan is, he's effective in executing that game plan. And Octavian can be an absolute wrecking ball. So styles make fights, and I anticipate this one to be a very, very fun, entertaining main event to finish off our night.
That will do it. 10 fights talked about, 10 fights on the board for this Saturday at Mountain View High School. 5 p.m. is when the show starts. We absolutely cannot wait for it. Zach, any big things that you're looking forward to? Weigh-ins, anything you want to announce before we kick things off?
I mean, we're just rolling. You're going to see a lot of stuff for Idaho Falls in June announcing. So it's going to be fun. Just come check it out. The champ will be there. Main event, heavyweight champ for June. He'll be at the Challenger Series. Come say hi to him. Wish him luck. Hope he gets some tickets, and Salt Lake goes up and supports Kent up in Idaho Falls.
It's nice, actually, not a 3-week turnaround either. It's been spinning our heads around.
We get 5 weeks now.
We get 5 weeks. I actually, it's pretty nice to have that. Zach, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it.
The main card. I want to see if we can blow this roof off. Everybody, there's 10 fighters in the back. They're ready to go. Put your hands together and make some noise! Yes, sir. I love it. We'll start this card off with our next fight of the evening, sponsored by Sauced Up Salsa. They are right over there selling their good salsa, and they are Utah's favorite salsa company. Their salsa is made fresh to order, ensuring that every small batch is lovingly handcrafted and fire roasted using only the best hand-picked ingredients paired with the perfect blend of spices. Sauced Up Salsa, a guaranteed true quality Sabrosa experience. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome the next two fighters to the cage.
Well, he is certainly a fan favorite considering the OREM backdrop. Enter Bane Varner out of a game of Jiu-Jitsu and MMA. Been a little bit of time since we last saw Varner, June of 2021 to be exact. Eric, you had a similar 2-year layoff between your last two fights. What's it like getting back in there after quite some time away?
Well, you worry about your preparedness, the timing, the speed, all those things can be a little bit different. They say, some guys say ring rust isn't a thing. It definitely can be.
We will have to see. Getting checked up by Alden Ashcraft. Jason, Bane Varner, someone that's been around the scene, but it's been some time since we've seen him. I think everyone's been looking forward to seeing him make his fierce debut here tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad to see him back making his fierce debut. He's a lot of fun. Go follow him on social media. He's hilarious.
3-1. Garnered over the last 4 years. His debut was back in March of 2019. His first fight here tonight since June 18th of 2021. 2-1 at welterweight, 1-0 at 175 pounds. Makes the walk here tonight at 195 pounds. He is Bane Varner.
Kind of looks like George.
All right, let's bring out that blue corner.
You probably don't know who that is, Blake.
That shows our age.
We just aged ourselves with that one. George the Animal Steel. Sorry about that.
A long-time fierce vet back after over a year away. Welcome back, Brandon Burgess. The 27-year-old out of Elite Performance drops 10 pounds with hopes of back-to-back wins for the first time in his career. Jason, you were cage side for Brandon's unanimous decision win last April. What can the audience look forward to?
That was an all-out war. In fact, this fight was one of the ones that I pegged as fight of the night because of Brandon's last performance and what we saw in the cage. It's going to be a dogfight. He's not going to give up. He trains at one of the top gyms in the state with Elite Performance and Jeremy Horn. He actually hit me up after his last fight for some nutrition advice, and I'm glad to see he's dropped down to a different weight class. What is he at? What weight class are we on this one?
195 here tonight. His debut was at middleweight. His last fight at light heavyweight makes the walk here right smack in the middle at 195 pounds. An interesting matchup stat here. Burgess is going to be 4 inches taller than Varner in there tonight, the 27-year-old out of Elite Performance. Brandon Burgess garnering a 2-1 record. Last win was last April. As we pull up the tail of the tape, 1-year senior is Varner. Again, 4 inches taller will fly by way of Burgess. Record of 2-1 for Burgess, a record of 3-1 for Varner. Jackson Hoops has got him in the cage, ready to announce them into the fight.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Soft Stuff Salsa. This fight is an amateur super middleweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 2 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighed in at 194 pounds. Fighting out of Jeremy Horn's Elite Performance MMA, hailing from Tooele, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Brandon Burgess. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 3 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 195 pounds. Fighting out of Akima Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, hailing from Provo, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for the Bane Train, Varner.
Elite Performance's Brandon Burgess in the blue gloves. Agima's Bane Varner counters in the red gloves to kick off our main card. This amateur bout is brought to you by Sauce Up Salsa, voted best of Utah, made fresh just for you. Sauce Up Salsa, an official sponsor of Fierce FC.
Fierce stare down from Bane Varner. He was staring down Burgess the whole time they were announcing the fighters.
I think Bane's trying to intimidate him early.
Burgess wasn't going for it, though.
Nice body kick.
Echoed through the gym as Burgess's kick to the body, but Bane Varner didn't seem to bother him one bit, Eric.
No, he walked through it. I'd like to see another one. Nice reversal back to the kick to get Bane against the cage.
Varner up 25 pounds, or 20 pounds, I apologize, from his last fight at 175 pounds. This one at 195. Looks like a low blow there.
He's going to get a scolding now. From Mr. Davis. Have you got a few of those, Eric?
First one's free.
Oh, good. Light scolding.
Light scolding. Yeah, I maybe once or twice. Well, ironically, yeah. And my train of thought just crashed. Dave was the ref too, as a matter of fact, and I swear that I didn't low blow him, but he was good at making sure that he got Dave's attention.
Both fighters throwing caution to the wind early, throwing heavy. Long layoffs for both of them as well.
That probably evens it out a little bit. If one had been super active and the other one had not, I'd be a little more, that might make me weigh a little more heavily in one's favor, but he's doing some good work to the body in the clinch there.
Combined record of Bane Varner's opponents 5-2. The combined of Burgess's 1-1.
Great head position by Burgess.
Burgess 2-0 under the Fierce banner back in 2019 as well as 2022. Looks like that decal is
going to get in the way.
Nice work, Dave Southside, as they trade shots.
Varner's lone loss, a TKO in the first round. As for Burgess, it was unidentified online, so I don't know how it happened. Nice knee to the body for Burgess. Back to the center they go.
Maybe a little strength advantage from Burgess. It seems like
Oh! Big left hook.
On the dot, and it's Bane Varner back like he never left.
Big left hook. Right on the chin.
Bane Varner is fired up. We got Leandro Lucio jumping straight in the cage.
Jeremy checking to make sure he's okay.
Bane Varner moves to 4-1. No need for the judges' scorecards.
You know, and I was just going to comment that I thought he was waiting a little bit long, and then bam, and it's over.
One of the cleanest shots landed here tonight. Varner finds it on the chin of Burgess. And I hope to see him more. Bane Varner kicking off the main card, as electric as you can make it.
That definitely raises polls.
Still so fired up. What a moment for Varner out of Agima. We're going to make it official with Jackson Hopes.
Fierce fans. Referee Dave Celia said has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes and 6 seconds of the first round, declaring the winner by TKO out of the red corner, the Bane Train Varner.
Come on over here, Bane. You got your mouthpiece off, big dog?
Yeah.
Come on over here. Hey, we're gonna watch. Look at this. We're gonna speak into this mic right here, all right? Look at this one. You gotta keep it right up to your mouth, right?
Okay.
All right, everybody. I'm here with the Bane Train Bane. That was an impressive performance, man. You look very intense. We were talking about on the broadcast. You look super intense before you guys stepped in there. What was the game plan coming into this fight?
The game plan was look him in the eye and wait for him to look away. I knew I had his ass.
That was great. It was a phenomenal performance. You coming in after a layoff, you get a big win, first round knockout. What's next for you, brother?
Whatever they want, I'll do.
Is there anybody you want to give thanks to? Any family, friends, sponsors?
Yes. My wife, of course. My family at home watching. My corners, Leandro, Alden, my whole team, Dane, Amy, Court McGee at Agima Jiu-Jitsu, and I know I had some people from work here. Hell yeah, thanks for representing. And just everybody who came out to support me and want to see my fight.
Awesome job, awesome performance. Congratulations once again, Bane.
And thank you for my fight. Jesus Christ. Give it up for Braden Varner.
Bam, bam, Bane Varner.
Outstanding patience. He knew what he was looking for because he landed that left hook really clean.
Jason, I apologize. We jumped to commercial a little early, so we wanted to get you back in here before the next fighters came out. That was fun.
That was a phenomenal performance. Bane Varner, I told you guys, he's great on the mic. He's great on social media, and he packs a heavy punch too.
The people absolutely love him. This place popped off when he landed that left hook.
That was he came out. He was super intense. He did exactly what he said. And Brandon did look away. We were watching. Eric and I were watching. He looked over there. He didn't make that eye contact. Maybe he didn't quite match that intensity that Bane brought to the fight is what I felt.
He definitely came out. It looked like he was looking at him to intimidate him. That was part of his plan.
You know, it reminds me of the Corey Sandhagen Aljamain Sterling fight. They talked about that. Sandhagen talked about looking across the cage, and he felt like Sterling, that he hadn't matched Sterling's intensity. And I think you saw a little bit of that tonight, if I could give a comparison.
Well, I most definitely hope to see him back. What a way to kick off the card. This next one's going to be great as well. Jackson Hopes has got him ready for us to bring him out.
How about that one to start off the main card? Wow. Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening is sponsored by Elevate Super Water. If you're serious about fitness, performance, and recovery, then it's time to discover the ultimate hydration solution. This unique hydrogen-infused formula It's all over these tables tonight. It takes hydration to the next level, and it supports your fitness goals and pushes you beyond your limits. Forget about your average sports drinks. Drink Elevate Sport Super Water. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome the next two fighters to the cage.
As busy as can be by way of Northern California, enter Carly Lombardo. The Team Black MMA strawweight makes walk number 7 in just over a year with eyes on the biggest win of her career. Eric, you fought 6 times in 11 months from 2019 to early 2020. What's that busy schedule do for a fighter similar to Carly?
Well, it can do one of two things. I can tell you in my case, I probably should have taken a couple of breaths because I fought through a whole bunch of injury. But if you're in there and you're active and you're not getting hurt, why not? I mean, you know, you're just going to benefit from the experience.
7th fight in just over a year for Carly Lombardo. The average fight time when she wins, Jason, is 9 minutes. Both of her wins from what we have on her is going to a decision.
Yeah, she's going to have to grind this one out against Mina. She's got a tough opponent. Mina's been on a win streak lately. We'll see what Carly can bring to the cage tonight.
Mina with the second most wins of any of Carly's opponents headed into this one. Carly Lombardo, the strawweight out of Team Black MMA in Northern California by way of the Bay Area. Fought Katarina Legarreta, who had a huge pro debut just 3 weeks ago, early on in her amateur career as well, Jason. I mean, Katarina put on quite the performance as well.
She looked phenomenal too, man. We've got some talent here at Fierce Challenger Series and Fierce Fighting Championship.
There she is as she enters the cage. Mina Ushrawadi is waiting in the wings.
You definitely know who the crowd favorite is.
What a pop that is on the heels of consecutive wins for the first time in her career. Enter Mina Ushrawadi, the strawweight out of Wasatch Combat Sports, makes her second walk of 2023 following a win at Fierce Challenger Series 4. Jason, Mina has told me she wants to stay active, and that's evident here, the quickest turnaround of her career thus far.
I love it. She's been training. She's been doing jiu-jitsu competitions. She's sharpening all of her skills. I'm looking forward to a phenomenal performance from her tonight.
Tied for the most Fierce Challenger Series appearances alongside Brendan Myers, Fierce Challenger Series 3, 4, and here tonight at number 5. And Jason, I did actually want to bring this up as well. 6 Muay Thai fights back in Thailand. Last show we talked about it, but we didn't actually have the statistics on it. 6 Muay Thai fights when she lived out there in 2016.
Yeah, 6 Muay Thai fights. She has experience. She's got a lot of experience. Another fun fact, Mina was actually on American Ninja Warrior too. Did you have that stat down there, buddy?
I did not. Thank you very much.
I may have had a little inside information because Mina was my coach for a little while a couple years ago.
34 years of age for Mina Ushrawadi. Carly Lombardo, 9 years younger at 25 years old. Both fighters 5'2" and 5'1" for Lombardo. 2-2 record for Ushrawadi. 2-5 for Lombardo in this strawweight bout.
Both of them look really happy to be here. Like
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Elevate Super Water. This fight is an amateur strawweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 2 wins and 5 losses. She stands 5 feet 2 inches tall and weighed in at 116 pounds. Fighting out of Team Black MMA, hailing from Antioch, California. Fierce fans, make some noise for Carly, Chronic Queen Lombardo. And introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 2 wins and 2 losses. She stands 5 feet 3 inches tall and weighed in at 114 pounds. Fighting out of Wasatch Combat Sports, hailing from Orem, Utah. Here stands, make some noise for Mina Ushrawadi.
Carly Lombardo out of Team Black MMA in the blue gloves. Mina Ushrawadi's second bout of 2023 in the red gloves. This strawweight bout is brought to you by Elevate Superwater, designed to optimize your body's performance, taking hydration to the next level. Elevate Superwater, an official sponsor of Fierce FC.
Mina, the hometown favorite, with their gym just being less than 10 minutes down the road from Mountain View High School.
Mina out of Wasatch Combat Sports. Carly out of Team Black MMA.
So here's a fun fact. I trained at Dan Black's gym where Carly's from for a while when I was in California.
Both fighters landing early here, Eric. Staying busy are the two.
Very busy.
Carly's marching forward. She's eating some big shots, though.
There she takes a little step back, resetting there. Nice head movement.
Some nice striking showcase between the two here.
A big overhand right from Mina. She just ate a right hand back.
They're teeing off on each other.
Yeah, they are.
A little bit of a slip there by Lombardo. Able to get back up, no problem.
Nice 1-2 from Mina. She might be hurt.
I think she's hurt.
Backing up is Lombardo.
Carly's throwing shots right back, though.
Carly trying to get a little creative there, but to no avail. Mina lands again to the head. That jab is finding a home, Eric.
I think Mina's finding the range here really well.
Yeah, Carly was doing really
definitely in the groove.
Sorry to interrupt you, Eric.
Oh! Down goes Lombardo. Mina searching for the finish. Mina, blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Under the chin she goes.
That looks tight.
That will do it. Mina Ushrawadi, 2 in a row, the first submission of her career and her first finish since March of 2021.
Great right hand. Set that choke up. Fantastic job. You know, just when I said it looked like she was finding a rhythm, she looked like she had the distance down. Crack. Big right hand.
Overcome by emotion is Mina Ushrawadi. 2 wins in 7 weeks. She embraces her coach. Emotional as well as Reese. An incredible moment for her. She's going to move to 3-2 and continues to grow as a fighter with every walk she makes. Mina Ushrawadi with the win by rear naked choke in the first round.
Fantastic performance. Fantastic.
Lombardo clearly disappointed.
Well, you see her eye. That's right where she took that cross, and it definitely had a lot of heat in it.
We're going to make it official right now with Jackson Hoops in just a moment.
Fierce fans, referee Dave Sayas has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes and 2 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by submission due to rear naked choke out of the red corner, Mina Ushrawadi.
All right, ready? All right, come on over here, Mina. Mina, phenomenal performance again tonight. 2-fight win streak. How you feeling tonight?
I feel so good. I feel so grateful. I'm really happy right now. Yeah.
So Carly came out. She had a lot of steam. She was pressuring a lot. Did anything throw you off in there?
No, we prepared for this. I'm used to taking punches, so I can weather the storm. So no, it wasn't too much for me.
You look phenomenal. Your striking looked phenomenal. You're very patient. I didn't expect to see a submission victory. Did you think you were going to submit her tonight?
That was not necessarily the plan, but we prepared for this fight. And I was ready to take the fight wherever it needed to go. It was there, and we went for the finish. So thank you. It wouldn't have been possible without my coaches.
Anybody you want to give a shout out to? Any family, friends, sponsors?
First and foremost, my two coaches, Reese and Casey. I would not be here without them. They are the dream team for me. I could not ask for more. They complete me. I'm so grateful to them. And then to all my family out in this crowd, my family from Wasatch Combat Sports, you guys make this experience so incredibly special for me. I'm so used to doing things on my own, and I know that I can, but having you all here is something different, and you guys give me something to fight for, and I love you guys so much, so thank you.
Are we going to see you back soon?
Hell yeah, you're going to see me again.
Give it up for Mina Ushrawadi.
First time in a long time, Thomas Braden. What a fight! These guys are just trading big shots back and forth. A quick night at the office for the kids, Palau.
Congrats, Mina. Saturday, June 24th, Fierce Fighting Championship heads back to Idaho Falls as Fierce FC heavyweight champion Kent Palau looks to defend his title against Bellator veteran Rudy Shafroth. For tickets, head over to fiercefightingchampionship.com. All right, welcome back in, everyone. Jason, Mina looks fantastic again. Back-to-back wins. She looks better than she has in the past. I can't wait to see what the future holds for her, but I do believe she's going to be jumping down to 105 pounds.
I think that's the weight class for her. I think she looked phenomenal tonight. She was moving very well. Her footwork's great. Her striking was good. Power. Her power is great. We've seen that in her first performance. I know you called her first fight, Blake. I love Mina. I'm a little partial. Obviously, she was my coach for a while. I love to see what she's doing. I love that she's active. I can't wait to see her back.
First finish since her debut. Eric, what did you see in there from Mina? It looks like she's growing at an exponential rate at this point.
Well, she looked like she really got smooth there towards right before she finished her. Her footwork looked good. She found her range. She was landing her shots. Everything looked smooth and slow, smooth, and smooth, fast. So she definitely had a lot of power. You saw Carly's eye there at the end, and it definitely looked like it was on its way to swelling shut.
And Carly was throwing some big shots too. She had Mina stunned just a little bit there, but Mina got her wits about her very quickly and came back and just, like I said, phenomenal footwork, phenomenal striking.
A couple of other phenomenal fighters making the walk right now. We're going to bring them out. Jackson Hoops is going to get us primed for it.
You had to let the beat drop, right? That's right. Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening is sponsored by Small Lake City, a full-service advertising specialties company ready to help you elevate your brand, stand out from the competition, and take your company to the next level. From custom pens and tote bags to branded t-shirts and water bottles, they have everything you need to create a lasting impression with your customers. You can trust your company's image is in good hands with Small Lake City. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome the next two fighters to the cage.
Well, a 3-week turnaround might sound insane to some, but for Malachi Novacelle, it's just another feather in the cap. Second 3-week turnaround for the elite performance fighter following a first-round submission over Ricky Mamone back on April 21st. Jason, on 10 days' notice, Malachi steps up a weight class. No question for you, just props to the 21-year-old.
Yeah, he's a fighter's fighter. He wants to fight. He's down to fight anytime, any place, anywhere. I love this kid.
Tallest opponent ever here tonight against Tyler Daniel. Tyler Daniel standing 6 feet tall. Malachi Novacelle standing 5'10". His tallest opponent before that was Jack Willoughby, standing 6'3", an extra 2 inches there. Eric, it's got to be tough facing someone who's so much taller than you.
It definitely can be. Again, it depends on how they're dictating the range, dictating the space, and where they choose to go. I tend to get in firefights when I'm in there and abandon all controlling distance, but just depending on the fighter.
Malachi Novacelle here at welterweight tonight. However, he is already ranked the number 2 welterweight, only behind the Fierce FC amateur middleweight champion Andrew Mickelson. And for the first time under the Fierce banner, welcome to the cage, Tyler Daniel, the 23-year-old out of Snake Pit MMA, heads into tonight following a second-round submission back in December. Eric, Tyler stands 6'5", the tallest welterweight amongst the top 20 in the state. What kind of advantages present themselves being that tall?
If he stays outside, he stays at the end of his jab, he sets up his kicks, there's a huge advantage. There's a lot of advantage in making sure Malachi stays at the end of his range, so he has time to shoot, or if Malachi does shoot, he has time to sprawl. He can set a lot of things up if he controls the distance.
Tyler Daniel, undefeated at welterweight. His only loss has been at 175 pounds. And we cannot wait to see how he looks as he's getting checked out. 5 months away, the quickest turnaround of his career, Jason. I'm really looking forward to seeing him here for the first time in the Fierce Fighting Championship.
Yeah, I know he's been putting a lot of time in his training. He's been training really hard. I'm looking forward to see his Fierce Challenger Series debut.
This is no doubt about it the toughest test of Tyler Daniel's career. Though 2-1, Malachi Novacelle 9 fights, 4.5 times the experience of his 3 previous opponents combined. Daniel, 2 years senior, 7 inches taller. A record of 2-1 for Daniel, a record of 6-3 for Novacelle. Daniel fighting out of Snake Pit MMA in Salt Lake City. Malachi Novacelle out of Elite Performance in Sandy, Utah.
This fight is sponsored by Salt Lake City. This fight is an amateur welterweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 6 wins and 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 169.5 pounds. Fighting out of Jeremy Horn's Elite Performance MMA, hailing from Salt Lake City, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Malachi Novacelle. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 2 wins and 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighed in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Snake Pit MMA, hailing from West Valley City, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Tyler, the Installer, Daniel.
Malachi Novacelle, 22 days removed from his last fight in the blue gloves. Tyler Daniel making his Challenger Series debut in the red gloves. This bout is brought to you by Small Lake City. Elevate your brand with Small Lake City's full-service advertising company, Small Lake City, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Malachi, 5 of his 6 wins coming by finish, 4 of them in the first round. Heavy pressure early for Novacelle.
Negating that length of Tyler is Malachi getting in close, trying to get that takedown, looks like.
Good use of his kicks to close the distance. Like I said earlier, his kicks are going to be the same length as Daniel's hands. So.
Get down, your hips out, go.
10-day notice for Malachi Novacelle, signed last Wednesday night to take this fight. Trying to get under the hips in the first takedown.
Big dump.
Very smooth. Novacelle, a submission specialist, some would say. 3 of his 6 wins coming by submission. The most recent one by Ricky Mamone a couple of weeks ago. Daniel trying to get out of mount, but finds himself with his back taken.
Daniel should have trapped an arm. He should trap an arm here if he's incredible. That's it.
That will do it once again.
Yeah.
Win number 7, finish number 6-5 in the first round. Another win for Malachi Novacelle.
Very smooth.
And as mentioned just moments ago, his 4th now submission of his career, the first since April of this year. So actually, it was just the last fight. Unbelievable performance by Malachi Novacelle. Gets it done quickly here.
These main cards, they've been short fights, but they sure have been exciting.
No doubt about it. Tyler Daniels seemingly disappointed, but looked good. And it's great to see him here for Fierce Challenger Series. Back over to Malachi Novacelle. Chopping it up with Jeremy Horn as well as Zach Partridge. Back-to-back submissions, and also the hottest streak of Malachi's career since his 4th fight, the last time that he was on a 3-fight win streak, October 29th of 2021, when he beat Gabriel Pizarro. And we're going to make it official right now with Jackson Hooks.
Fierce fans, referee Dave Salia said it's called to stop this contest at 1 minute and 19 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by submission due to rear naked choke out of the blue corner, Malachi Novacelle.
Come on over here, Malachi. You got your mouthpiece out? Yes, I do. Hey, I just saw you up here 3 weeks ago. We're doing this again, man.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was here not too long ago. I like fighting. What can I say?
So you took this fight on 10 days' notice. Props to Tyler Daniel. He comes in here. He has a new opponent with you stepping in on 10 days' notice. What was your thoughts going into this fight? What was the game plan?
I knew he was tall and long, so try to keep my distance with him and close it real quick or take it to the ground. Do something about it.
You did a great job on it. You get the submission victory. What's next for you now?
Not too sure. Again, I'll have to talk to coaches over there, but I like fighting. I'll do whatever.
Are there any family, friends, sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, huge shout out to my family back there. Love all of you guys. There they are. My sponsors, Modern Edge, Cristobal Perez, Matco Dealer. All the good sponsors. Love them like my family. They're awesome.
Awesome. It's always a pleasure calling your fights. Congratulations once again. Malachi Novacelle, everybody. Congratulations again.
Keeps it night and day.
All right, welcome back in. Eric, you were just saying what an amazing performance that was for Malachi Novacelle.
Yeah, on short notice, 10 days, shows that he's in the gym, he's ready, he's staying ready. He knew exactly what he needed to do. He needed to close the distance, put him on his back where that range and that distance didn't make any difference. He went and applied it, did a fantastic job.
Jason, I got to bring this up. Malachi Novacelle, when he fought Ricky Mamone, he had a very, very quick submission. Same exact story here tonight.
Yeah, same exact story. He capitalized. Tyler made a small mistake. I was still talking to Trevor Golden. He just made a small mistake. Malachi got right under that neck and got the submission victory. I mean, hats off to Malachi, man. 10 days notice, just fought 3 weeks ago, and that was a banging fight.
That was a banging fight. This next fight, 100% will be banging as well. The belt is on the line for half of us here tonight in our co-main event. Unfortunately, Adam Frank missing weight, but he's about to make the walk right now alongside Hector Lopez. We're going to bring him out right now.
All right, fierce fans. I hope you guys are ready for the last amateur fight, which is a title fight. Fierce fans, our co-main event is sponsored by Glow Pop. With all sorts of gummies to choose from, Glow Pop is perfect for peak performance and for chilling after the fight. Expand your mind a bit or melt away with either the Blue Boomer or Easy Dose Blue Delta Gummies. Get 20% off your first purchase from Glow Pop at glowpop.com. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome the next two fighters to the cage.
Well, at just 22 years of age, it's safe to say Adam Frank has made his mark as one of the highest touted amateurs in the entire country. 5 wins and 5 finishes for the 10th Planet Purple Belt. Eric, how do you prep for someone who's so savvy at finishing the fight?
You really got to study. You got to make sure that you understand where he wants to go and how he wants to finish the fight. Watch his tools and train for it. Put yourself in bad situations and be ready.
Jason, all wins by finish. The average fight time when he wins, 56 seconds.
This kid is one of the top prospects in the nation right now. There's a lot of hype around this kid. I mentioned earlier on the pre-fight broadcast, I got multiple messages from people down in Vegas saying, watch out for this kid. He's the real deal.
Julian Arosa in the corner out of the UFC. He also trains alongside Fierce FC bantamweight champion Yazin Haji.
Yeah, not a bad corner. We saw Yazin, who is our bantamweight champion right now.
Adam Frank entering the cage. Never been submitted, never been knocked out. 60% of his wins coming by KO. 40% of his wins coming by submission. He also had a 10-second KO back in October of 2021. The kid is a finishing machine. We cannot wait to see him in our co-main event, making his Fierce Challenger Series debut. On a hot streak with a second shot at the strap, enter Hector Lopez. With back-to-back first-round finishes, the Koa Kingdom featherweight looks to capture his first belt tonight in our co-main event. Jason, we've called both of Hector's fights on this first-round finishing frenzy that he has been on. What do you think has changed for the 30-year-old in the last 6 months?
You know what? I don't know what it is, but something has clicked with him. He has looked phenomenal his last 2 fights. He's firing on all cylinders right now. I know there's a lot of talk about him taking this fight against this kid. Frank is a tough jiu-jitsu guy. They're not worried. He's got Anthony Novacelle in his corner. He's got Bobby King in his corner. They're very confident tonight coming into this fight.
Hector Lopez with a record of 5-3. However, the combined professional record of those 3 losses is 6-1. I mean, those 3 losses were against very formidable opponents, Eric.
Yeah, it just shows that he's game. He's going to take the fight. He's going to come out and fight hard. I'm interested in seeing this matchup with Frank.
As for Hector Lopez, all wins by finish. All submissions in the first round. Both of his KO TKOs come in the second round. He also is 0-1 headed into a third round. We will have to see how this plays out between Hector Lopez out of Koa Kingdom, Adam Frank coming up by way of Las Vegas, Nevada. Lopez, 7-year senior. Frank, 1 inch taller. Frank with a record of 5-1. That graphic is incorrect. Lopez with a record of 5-3. Hector Lopez eligible for the Fierce FC Amateur Featherweight title. Adam Frank, unfortunately, unable to contest for it tonight as he missed weight yesterday by 1 pound. We're going to take it over to Jackson Oaks.
Fierce fans, this is your co-main event. This fight is sponsored by Glow Pop, and when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Dave Selyastad. This fight is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds for the Fierce Fighting Championship Amateur Featherweight title. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 5 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in above the contracted weight at 146 pounds. Fighting out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Las Vegas and Space Force, hailing from Las Vegas, Nevada. Fierce fans, make some noise for Adam Frank. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 5 wins and 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed in at 144.5 pounds. Fighting out of Koa Kingdom, hailing from Logan, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Hazard Hector Lopez.
10th Planet Las Vegas.